Hello everyone, it's Quenches here today, and I just want to make a video about the ARs and how to balance them. So, I'm no means a designer or anything, but I've just been having a little think. I've been reading comments on my past few videos and stuff like that regarding the balancing, and sort of like got an idea, and I think it's mainly like boost the damage slightly on things, as well as expand ammo and have a little pushback effect on light penetrating weapons. So basically, this weapon, the Liberator, will have a slight pushback when you shoot targets on their armored parts. So it's not a stun effect, it's more like you're pushing them away. So I think that would make it a little bit more effective for like crowd control when it comes to bugs. So even though you're shooting it, but you're not going through, but it's coming through with a power that will hit him and push him away a bit. And I think that might be the best way to make light penetrating armor better. So you could be crowd control with a light pen. You can push him back, and then someone else can pick him off with like a sniper, the Coyote, the Adjudicator kind of thing. And I think that would do much. It's sort of like a faster fix, I feel. So it's got like a slight concussive sort of effect, but not, it's not like a concussive effect. It's a pushing away kind of thing. And it could be, the concussion kind of effect can be used, but I think it needs to be, because it's going to be rapid and fire quite fast with a light pen weapon, that it's going to have to be sort of, it needs to, refresh quick, but it pushes back quite a bit. And I think that would more or less make light pen weapons a bit more useful. I just think it'll be cool. Now, I've done some little research. Apparently, these drum mags are meant to hold like 70 ammo in like the real world kind of thing. No, I'm not too sure because I'm not a gun expert, but apparently I watched a few videos where it's like, why is this holding 60 when in the real world it can hold 70? And that could be because the bullet is a different size and stuff like that. A few hundred years later. So that might be the thing, but I do think probably increasing the ammo capacity of the drum mags to 70 and stuff, especially the pacifier. I do think we need to have more ammo capacity in line with probably the Coyote, probably 45 to 50. I think the Coyote could use, like a 50, just to make it nice and even, So yeah, like apparently that has 2 extra bullets than this. Of course, it's a smaller mag and a smaller bullet and all that stuff. And then this having 32 feels really bad. I feel like reloading every 5 minutes. So I think in order to fix this weapon, you need a faster reload. Mainly just because it feels like it doesn't feel quite right. Which is quite annoying. Now, when it comes to the Adjudicator, I think having a capacity of 30, it needs to be increased to make it feel on the same level as this weapon. I think increasing the magazine to 45, or having a extra sort of like, we have a large mag, and it sort of decreases ergonomics further or something like that, would be nice. I think that's more or less how you'll fix it. With the Tenderizer, I think having that little pushback kind of effect on light, with light penetrating armor, because even though it hits it, it doesn't penetrate it, but there's still a force behind it that's pushing, and stuff like that. So I think it would be a good idea. As well as it will allocate sort of roles to people. It's like, I'm going to go with the light pen so I can push them back, and then you guys can take them out and stuff like that. I think it'd be good, especially for like the higher difficulties. I think it would work quite well. And I think that would be an interesting way to balance out the ARs, to be honest. Increasing ammo capacity for the light armor and stuff like that. Because even though, there's a medium penetrating, I do think the ammo should be like, it would probably, it doesn't have enough pushback. You would make the medium armor, so it goes through the armor, it doesn't push back. So, it kills things rather quickly, but this has the pushback if you're getting overwhelmed by a lot of enemies. But like this kills them, like, and stuff like that. But if you want like a team like push them back and then use this gun to take them out at the same time, so they're not all on you, I think would be a good way to, use tactics and stuff. Yeah, you have the concussive, but I think it's just, I do think they need to decrease. I feel like the spread of the weapon. The spread of the weapon is kind of everywhere, so it doesn't feel particularly good and stuff like that. This weapon, the pacifier, I do think it needs a little bit more damage increase. If you want to keep the ammo capacity that low, I would say up it to 65 damage, so on the same sort of level as the concussive. I do think that'll be a pretty good thing. Or, yeah, 65 I would say, put it up to 65, and have the capacity, 40 and stuff like that. I think that would make it good because it has the stun effect, doesn't it? So it stuns them for a little bit. So that's stopping them and not making them advance any further, which is good. I think that'll be a good idea for that weapon. It's just this weapon is kind of useless because of the spread and it doesn't feel like, because it's light mid, it doesn't feel like it's doing much. But it does push them back and stuff like that. But I do think that the light pens need to have a little bit more of a an interesting sort of gimmick behind them. So I do think having the little not like a knockback, but like it slows them down as you shoot them and or pushes them away kind of. And I think that would work better than just having or extra damage or medium penetration and stuff like that. I think it'll have a role to take. It's like, oh, this is for crowd control. You can slow them down by shooting them and stuff because it packs a punch with because it's damage. But if it's hitting armor parts, it doesn't go through. But when it hits the armor parts, it slows them down or pushes them back slightly. So you've got that crowd control. And I think that would work better. Like this one would probably be really good at like keeping the crowd control because of the fire rate. But at the same time, you're not doing much damage to the enemy, but you can fire more to keep them at bay. I do think they need to probably consolidate all the Liberators into kind of one weapon kind of thing. They all look the same, don't they? More or less, but this just has a tube and stuff. So I think probably putting the Liberator family into one and having all the mods sort of, kind of thing, because everything else is quite uniquely looking, but the Liberators all look kind of the same in shape and stuff. Probably the Penetrator is more sleeker, but this looks more or less the same. That one looks more or less the same. This one looks more or less the same. It just has a different kind of length to it and stuff like that. So yeah, and the more or less all have the same damage and are light, and light. So yeah, apart from the Penetrator, which I think is probably the best one of the Liberator family anyway, because of the medium armor for it right now, and light armor not really doing anything. See, if it just pushed him away a further bit and stuff like that as you fire at him, I think that would be a good idea, and increasing the ammo capacity. So I definitely think that there is room for improvement here and for balancing and stuff. Like just adding some damage here to that, and adding capacity here and stuff like that. To bring it up to the level of this one, because it's incendiary, so it's like it's burning at the same time and stuff. So add effects to this as such as not stun, but like, what would you call it when you knock them back? Knockback. Just call it knockback. And have that kind of effect to light penetrating armors. It has a knockback effect. Whereas, medium penetration goes through the armor and does the damage. So yeah, I think that'll be a better kind of thing. So that's with the ARs and stuff like that. I think with this rifle, it needs way more. It needs magazines. It needs grips and stuff like that, just to make it more versatile. So does this weapon. And this weapon, because all these have like grips and stuff you can work with, whereas these ones don't. So I think I make it more versatile. SMGs, I would say they're in a really good place. I like the damage amount, I like the accuracy amount, like the recoil and stuff. It just feels like you're firing, and it's so good to use. Shotguns I haven't particularly used, mainly because if things get close to you, they kill you very quickly. So keeping a distance and stuff would be the best thing. I like that's my thing. I do think this weapon should be medium armor penetrating, because it's a Halo and it's unique, and it's a shotgun. But yeah, like these shotguns, I do feel like they have a knockback kind of thing, and it does particularly. I think it works really well. So I think having that to the ARs would be a good thing, but not as intense, of course, because it's these weapons I'd say are fine. I use this one a little bit more because it seems to pull up the eruptors like a distance, so it makes them come to the surface, and then you just hit another bolt and they explode. Energy weapons. So the scythe has a lot more sort of what do you call them? Adjustment things, mods, or so I would take all these mods, like the standard heatsink and stuff, and more of this, and add them to the sickle, add them to the double-edged sickle, and I would probably come up with like a what do you call it? A battery modification that changes the amount of ammo. So it increases the capacity, but maybe decreases the damage by 10 or 20 to give it to 180. But it can still pack a punch, or it can remove the explosive damage, stuff like that, but keep it medium penetrating, but more capacity instead of the explosive. Just a thought. These weapons, I would have preferred this to be medium armor penetrating, but has less mags. I think that would be good. So it's like stalwart, but not as good as it, of course. And it can go through medium plating and feel good, or add the knockback effect as you fire this to enemies. So it's another way of keeping the bad guys at bay whilst another person takes them out and stuff like that. I don't really use the Dominator, hasn't been used, and I don't use this one at all. But I know it's just you just have patterns, not really a thing. I think the whole point of weapon modification is to have weapon modifications, weapon customization to have weapon modifications. So I definitely think adding something to this, like maybe scopes, maybe grips and stuff, or different. So you have different, maybe, what do you call it? Propane gas and stuff. So different ones like light up enemies quicker, or increase damage more, but it takes a little longer to light up properly. But when they do, they die quick, or having instant fire damage kind of thing. As I said, I don't really use it. It might do this already. I'm not too sure. But I do think, having a little versatility with each weapon would be nice. Like this weapon doesn't even have it either, so add different grips and stuff, just to make it more ergonomic or something like that, so you can move quicker or something. Just add things to it to make it a little bit more better, a little bit more interesting and stuff. Yeah, that's more or less it with this video. So I'll just keep I'll call it a video. But yeah, I think that's how to balance the ARs and stuff, making the light armor penetrating a little bit more interesting, a little bit more useful, because it doesn't feel useful at all when I use the light penetrating armor. But if it pushes things back, like a knockback, because it is like hitting hard, but the way the shell is, it is designed to push away. I remember seeing like, oh, it's a hollow point, so it creates a force of pushback or something like that. Just to just do something like that, and I think it'll make light armor penetrating a little bit more versatile. Like, oh, we can push the bugs back to a certain point, throw a grenade, so you group them all up and they explode and they all die. Or you can have like a team of like one has medium armor penetrating and one has light, so you can push them back if they're getting too close to you and stuff. I think that'll be an interesting way of doing it. But yeah, that's all from me. Let me know what you guys think. So, a little bit. So it's a little bit of damage increase here and there, ammo capacity here and there, adding a little knockback effect to the light armor penetrating weapons and stuff like that, just so it makes it more versatile and stuff like that. So it has a role within a group, so it can push enemies back to a certain point and create tactical advantages, such as throwing grenades or using a recoilless sort of like area effect explosion kind of thing. I think would be a good thing. Sorry, I got some weird ducks flying over the house. Um, but yeah, that's more or less all from me. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know ways you think you would balance it a little bit more, just to match it up with the Coyote. Like, it is a powerful gun, I would say. It is cool because of the incendiary effects. The fire kills it really quickly, so they might end up changing how fire works in order to thingy, but it might mute all the other, the other fire weapons and stuff. So I think just changing other things would be better, just changing like how armor penetration works. Like the light armor is more of a pushback kind of thing, rather than like, so it's more not concussive. It's more like, oh, I'm being shot, I'm moving back, or I'm stopping in my tracks kind of thing. Or yeah, probably a pushback would be easier to implement, I think. Because I think maybe with the stopping or slowing down, you might have to affect the AI or something like that. So yeah, that's all for me. Let me know what you think. Maybe that will be a fix to sort of balance up the weapons. As I said about the submachine guns, I do think they're in a nice spot really, because they're so accurate once you get them like. So you just aim for like the heads of automatons, and the more or less the head explodes, and that's you done with them basically. And I feel like it's a very very quick way of handling things and stuff like that. The SMGs, because I recently grinded all them out, got them all the way to level 25, and I was like, yeah, they were pretty fun. I enjoyed using them. Probably could use a little damage increase, but I don't think they're a sub-machine gun, so I don't think they should be as powerful as ARs. I mean, of course, if we're going for realism, every gun is deadly, so why are things not dying in a few shots? But then I think you take away from the game. So, the submachine guns can't be as good as the ARs. The snipers are more powerful than the ARs, but are slower and stuff like that. So I think, other than just increasing a little damage here and there and ammo capacity of the ARs, I think we're getting close to like a really nice balance. Anyway, that's all from me. I will see you in the next one. Let me know what you think in the comments. Goodbye.